to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden. Today I'm in my garden as I'm going to plant up some of my garlic. I probably should have done this a while ago, but I just haven't got around to doing it. So I thought I'd do it today and I'll show you what I'm doing with it. I have a few of these tubs around the garden. I've got 5 of them. I've had them for years and years. They are plastic, but they have lasted a long time. There's another one over there full of soil. I had my tumbling toms in here over the summer. So the depth of this is probably about 20 centimetres, which should be okay for growing garlic in. The problem is more that it's not that wide, but we'll see how we get on with it. So I'm going to fill that bottom with some well-rotted manure. I might put some gravel in there first, just to aid drainage. And then I've got my garlic over here, which has started to sprout. And at the bottom, some of them have got strong roots. And then right at the bottom, there's not many strong roots. So I'm going to plant up the strong rooted ones first and see how much room I've got left after I've done that, because I'm going to use both these troughs to grow in. And underneath the garlic, this is the soil, or the compost rather, that came out of that trough. I've just emptied it, so it's a good barrel load of compost in there, which I will mix with some of this fresh compost in this bag, and I'll mix the two together and top up the pot. But I'm just going to head off to get the manure now. Cheeky chickens are on the mooch again. However, this is now half full of manure, and I have mixed in some of the new multi-purpose compost with the old compost that was in this trough. So I'm just going to put this back into there, and then once that's done, I shall bring you back and show you me planting up the garlic. So I've taken the garlic out of their plugs and just placed them roughly where I want the spacing to go. So it's going to be a row of 2 rows, and then at the end just one either end. If you can see from the roots, they are desperate to get going. They are like coiled springs, really, for want of a better description. So I'll get them planted now. It's just a case of digging the hole, and then we might as well try and spread out the roots if we can. We can firm them down and then cover them back over. And these, once this is then done, these will go around the front, because my chickens, who do free range in the garden, like to scratch around in the pots, which is what they did in the summer when my tomato plants were in there. So I shall just get on with finishing this trough, and I'll put it in place, and I'll bring you back when that's done. Here they both are, all planted up. There's only a couple of the shoots that are poking through, because I planted the garlic like I would in the ground. So although the shoots had started, I still planted them about 5 centimetres in the soil, and about 10 centimetres apart in both directions. So because of that, some of the shoots hadn't grown enough to poke out of the ground, but I assure you they are in there. And I've just been left with these 4, so I will get a smaller pot for them. Well, probably a pot about 20 centimetres deep, but maybe like a circular one that's not so wide. And in planting up that garlic, I've now freed up some more compost, so I'll show you what my next plans are going to be, but I probably won't do that today. Here is the barrow full of the soil. That's the soil from the second trough, which has not been mixed with multi-purpose, and this inside here is the bag from the first trough, which has been mixed with multi-purpose. I'm telling you guys this so that I can look back and check, because my memory will not remember it. And the next job I've got to do, where I built this surround, when my dad put this IBC container in here for the water, this was sitting nicely on the ground, but now it's slightly raised because of the patio slabs. So I just need to add a little small plank of wood here and a little bit around there too, just so that it sits nicely on the ground, and when I fill it with the soil and manure and compost, it won't leak out. Well, that's it from me for today. That is another job that I wanted to get done at the end of November, done at the end of December. There is a bit of a pattern emerging here, but I shall now go on in and make my children lunch, as they have come out a few times to ask where their food is. So I'm very pleased to eventually get that garlic in, and hopefully, because they've rooted, we should get some garlic. And it'll be really interesting to see how they get on in those troughs, because the smaller the pot, or the smaller the growing space, the smaller the garlic. So I'll be really interested to compare it with the garlic I've got in the beds. Well, that's it from me for today. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing if you have done so. And all I can say about that, planting the garlic, is lovely job.